Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we're rattling through the new PSVR2 sale on the PS Store. If you'd like to have a look for yourself, you can head over and filter by VR platform over on the PS Store, but if not, I'm going to give you my highlights in this list of the best games that I've enjoyed the most that are currently on sale. Before we get into it, only 25% you are subscribed, so please feel free to do so, and thank you to our patrons and members who are on screen right now. With all that said, let's start off with Resident Evil, because pretty much every single Resident Evil game that's compatible with PSVR2, that being 2 of them, are on sale. If you want Resi 4 Gold Edition, that'll be £26.99. That gives you, I think, a couple of the art book stuff and some DLCs, but those are not compatible with VR, only the main campaign is. And Resident Evil Village is £13.99. That is an absolute steal for one of the best PSVR2 games on the platform. And if you haven't played it yet, please pick it up on this sale. That is honestly so cheap for the quality of content that you're getting. Now these games are kind of spooky, but an even spookier one is Phasmophobia at £11.61. It's on a 25% discount. I imagine that most people who wanted Phasmophobia have bought it at base price because it's usually about 15 quid, so this isn't going to make a massive difference in terms of price, but if you'd like to pick something up for just over a tenner on the sale, Phasmophobia is definitely a good pick. A great co-op horror game that I enjoy coming back to every time there's a new update. Speaking of horror games, there seems to be quite a few in this sale, also including both Help Wanted games. Help Wanted 1 and 2 at £12.49 and £16.49 respectively. Help Wanted 1 is the full-time edition though, coming with all the DLC I think. And if you find that taking on maintenance tasks and reliving the nights in VR is too scary, then you can always switch over to the flat screen, as these are flat screen compatible. If you want a game that's hand tracking compatible, Waltz the Wizard is £11.99. This game is so fun, using both the Sense controllers and hand tracking to interact with the world. There's actually quite a lot to do in Waltz the Wizard in terms of making new spells and figuring things out and seeing events in the game, and it also has voice recognition, which is really cool. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently. It's just that sort of game where every couple of months you get a spell of a couple of weeks of playing nothing but it, and I've been having a great time, as you can see. Why is he crouched like that?
Lock it up.
If you want a game that's similar to that on PSVR2, Cyube VR is £23.19. The game does run reprojected, I believe, but you can kind of see why. The render distance in Cyube is unreal, and essentially is Minecraft creative mode mixed in with a bit of survival. So there's no hunger or anything like that or enemy mobs. It's a very peaceful game, but you do have to go and collect the resources to build yourself. So you don't get access to everything, but you don't have those challenging survival elements, so it's a bit of a mix, but it is honestly one of the best looking PSVR2 games on the entire platform, so definitely recommend taking a look at that. Red Matter 2 is £14.99, another game that is one of the best on the platform. Runs native, I want to say 120Hz, very possibly on PSVR2. It just looks ridiculously good and has a pretty damn good story, and even if you haven't played the first one, I'd say it's worth playing the second. Hubris is another sci-fi game that looks fantastic, runs reprojected, but does have some pretty fun combat, and especially the opening stages look unreal. That's £9.99. If you want to run your own arcade, Arcade Paradise VR is exactly that. For £8.79 you can manage your laundromat in the day and build up your arcade by night, slowly making the arcade business a bigger one than the laundromat until you have tons of cabinets and loads of people coming to play. And of course, you can also play the arcade games yourself. For the first time, I think, Exocars is on sale. This came out a little while ago and is £12.79, down from £15.99, and is a pretty decent off-road buggy racer for PSVR2. I think it's got multiplayer now as well, so definitely check that out. Hack and slash game Tiger Blade is also on sale for £11.99. I remember playing this one quite a while ago. I found it pretty hard, to be honest, but it had a really cool art style and pretty fun hack and slash gameplay. The deluxe edition of Drums Rock is £16.24. This comes with the base game stuff and a bunch of the DLC, including the Undertale DLC, so if you enjoy that game's soundtrack, definitely go and check it out. A game that gets slept on a lot is Barbaria. That's £11.19, and it's a game where you build up your own dungeons, and then people come and raid those dungeons as they're uploaded to kind of the cloud, and you can raid other people's dungeon layouts, possessing a champion and heading into battle with a bunch of allies that you build up. It's a really cool gameplay premise, a mix of strategy and first-person melee combat, and it really took me by surprise when it launched a couple years back on PSVR2. Finally, Captain Toonhead vs the Punks from Outer Space is £7.99. This one took me by surprise because I really didn't like the art style that much, and I didn't really like the humour that much. They just weren't really for me, but the gameplay of Captain Toonhead is actually pretty damn good. It's a tower defense game that actually has quite a bit of depth to it, a lot of enemy variety, a lot of upgrades, and a lot of different towers you can use. If you like tower defense, it's definitely worth checking out. Okay, with that being said, that's everything from the brand new sale on the PS Store. Please do let me know if you'll be picking anything up. Honestly, a no-brainer is Resident Evil 8 on this sale. If you haven't got it already, this is such a low price. Even if you don't like horror games, please go and give it a try. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.